Joining us now, here he is, Dr. Ben Carson. Of course, his new book, One Nation, What We Can All Do to Save America's Future. It's I believe, the #1 New York Times bestseller. Well done, Dr. Carson, #1.
Yeah, pretty neat, huh?
So, Dr. Carson, we were just talking about this. I don't know if you're even aware of this, but you're scheduled to speak at Valdosta State University down in Georgia. And you're sold out, of course, which is befitting a #1 New York Times bestselling author. And just last night, this Post hit their student newspaper where they want them to cancel your speech because apparently you are contrary to what America is all about, and you're too extreme. What do you think of that idea and the fact that the university or some students in the university through the student newspaper are asking for them to cancel your speech?
Well, it demonstrates that we have moved so far away from the founding principles of America that people could actually believe that if somebody says something you disagree with, that you shouldn't listen to them, and you should try to prevent anyone else from listening to them. And if they have a business, you should try to destroy it. And if they have a reputation, you should try to tarnish it. This is pre-fascism. And we, all of us, no matter what your political persuasion, should be horrified and should do everything we can to make sure that that is not tolerated.
Well, I agree with you, but I mean, what if you get that call this afternoon saying, Dr. Carson, this is becoming a bit controversial, what would you say?
I would say, tell me exactly which part of things that I'm advocating is un-American.
Right. Yeah, what they call you extremist. Well, what exactly is extreme? And yet they want to silence you as well, Dr. Carson. It's pretty frustrating.
It is, but I see that people are starting to wake up now and stand up against it because basically the majority of people in this country actually do have common sense and do have American values, but they've been beaten into submission. And that is a problem. Freedom is not free. You must be willing to stand up for what you believe in. And if you adopt a go-along to get along attitude, your freedom will be lost.
Well, you go along to get along. I think that sort of sums up what some people felt about Eric Cantor. And look, we have endlessly discussed it. Everywhere you go, people who follow politics have been discussing the lesson of the Eric Cantor defeat. Have you had a chance to sort of think about that? What's your take on it?
Well, I believe that people are trying to make it clear that you can't say that you're a conservative and then every time the debt ceiling issue comes up, raise the debt ceiling. And say, well, if we don't do that, they'll blame us. Newsflash, they're going to blame you anyway. And, people want to see some spine here. And I've been saying for a long time, if the conservatives would stand up for conservative principles, they would get enormous support.
Dr. Ben Carson is our guest. His brand new book, One Nation, What We Can All Do to Save America's Future, is a New York Times #1 bestseller. And by the way, if you would like to meet the good doctor, you can yourself this Sunday. In fact, 2 different opportunities for you, both in Maryland and Virginia. 1:30, he'll be doing a book signing at the Potomac Adventist Book and Health Food Store in Silver Spring. And then at 5 o'clock at the Barnes & Noble, Tyson's Corner in McLean. Dr. Carson, you were born in Detroit, and a lot of people are talking about you potentially running for president, and I'm not going to embarrass you and suggest that you'll make that announcement right here and right now. But I wonder if you obviously you're considering a political life. Detroit, I think, represents everything that is wrong with the past 30, 40, 50 years of Democrat liberal policies. If you were the emperor of Detroit today, how would you fix Detroit?
Well, I think you'd do the same things that you would do for our nation, because Detroit is simply a microcosm of what's going on in our nation today. Incredible fiscal irresponsibility, not facing it, and just kicking the can down the road. And a lot of people say that it was the unions that did it. of course they played a role, but unions do what unions do. They will gladly strangle the goose that laid the golden egg for an egg. Just give me the egg now.
Yeah.
But, the executives in the big three auto companies are people who look down the pike. They knew that if they kept conceding to the unions, that there would be a time when you would have to pay. But they also knew that they would have their golden parachute and be long gone by that time. And that's what we're doing right now, as we continue to raise our national debt, $17.5 trillion now. And we say, well, maybe somebody's going to have to deal with it down the road.
Right.
We don't have to deal with it. And we're going to destroy our nation. The only reason we can sustain a debt of that level is because our currency is the reserve currency of the world, which means we can print money.
But
if we couldn't print money, we would have a tremendous collapse, just like Greece did. And we may not always be able to do it because that designation generally goes with the number one economy in the world, which we have been since the 1870s, a designation we will lose before the end of this year to China.
Dr. Carson, I tried to get you to talk about a local issue, and you talk about global economic issues and national issues. I don't know. You sound like someone who would like to have a national office. Just saying.
Just saying.
Seems that way.
Yeah.
Well, I'm very concerned about our nation. I really am. I think our nation is sick.
Yeah. Well, we need a doctor
as a
to
doctor,
fix it.
you got to work on that.
All right.
Doctor.
Dr. Ben Carson, thanks for joining us again. The book is One Nation, What We Can All Do to Save America's Future. Good luck with that book. You don't need it. You're doing well. #1 New York Times bestseller.